Hi everyone, I have put together a little video here on what grading looks like in this class. This is one of the most common questions I get, which makes sense, right? How am I going to be evaluated in this class? So hopefully this helps answer some of those questions. So by the end of this very exciting video, you're going to know how your activities are graded. You're going to be able to learn from your scores, right? So simply knowing that you got a B isn't really helpful, right? Why did I get a B? What do I do to get an A? And then also knowing how to take advantage of your resources, because you should not be doing this class all by yourself. So real quick, I wanted to just kind of give you the sort of philosophy about how I've designed the class and specifically the assignments. You're going to notice there's a lot of small assignments versus just a few large ones, right? A lot of classes tend to have a midterm and a final, sort of two opportunities to show how you're engaging with the class. We have a lot, and it's going to look really overwhelming, like, Wiley, you're killing me, but there's a couple of reasons I do that. One is studies show that if you're constantly reflecting on the material throughout the course versus just once or twice, you're going to engage more and you're going to retain it more. The other reason I do lots of little assignments is if you blow it on one, it's not the end of the world, right? In a traditional class, if you blow it on the midterm, that's a big bummer. Here, not the case, right? Because there's lots of little opportunities to do well in the class. You'll notice also that we don't have tests. We don't have a midterm. We don't have a final. We do have small, what we call quizzes, but all of the quizzes are not timed. You can take as long as you need, and you can take them up to 2 times. This is not a memorization course. Instead, if tests, we have what we call reflections, and that's what they're for, right? To reflect on the material. So no big scary tests. We're going to have a wide variety of assignments, right? So some are going to be quizzes, like I mentioned. Some are going to be short essays. Some are going to be videos that you create. Some are going to be poems that you write. Some are going to be discussions that you have with your fellow classmates. And the idea is that we privilege all ways of knowing, right? So if you happen to be a really strong writer, yay for you. But if you happen to be better at audiovisual or discussions, you should also be given credit for that as well. So we have a wide variety of assignments in this class. Also, I'm really a fan of failing, and I know that sounds weird, but we're doing things new. We're going to be talking about things that might be really unfamiliar. So you're going to fail, and that's good because that's how you learn. So I'm encouraging folks to take me up on the course redo option. If you do a reflection and don't do so great, take me up on it and redo it, because that's how you're gonna learn. And then, as I'll say 14,000 more times, to utilize your resources here on campus. There's no reason you should do all this alone. So let's get into some logistics here. How do you know how you're doing in the class? That's accessing your grades. So here I have a screenshot of our Canvas page, and you'll see up here on the left, grades. So you just click there and you'll be able to see exactly where you're at. I try to update grades every week. Sometimes it takes me a week and a half. But you'll go in there and you can know exactly where you're at during the whole course. And if you have questions or concerns about your grades, obviously reach out to me. So how do you get graded? One of the things that really bothered me as a student is I wasn't clear, like, why did I get a C on that? I have no idea. So every assignment that we have in this class, the chats and the reflections, are graded using what's called a rubric. It's just a fancy word for a thing that was embedded in Canvas that shows exactly what you're going to be graded on. So on the left you have the criteria, right? It was on time, you did this, 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 and then over here, like, you did it awesome, you did it okay, or you need some work. So every assignment has these. I encourage you, before you submit your assignment, look at this rubric. Like, did I do all these things? And if you can say yes, then yay, go ahead and click submit. After I grade it, I literally use this, and I click on this, and you'll be able to see, like, oh, this is why I got what I did. So the idea is transparency. There shouldn't be any secrets about why you got. So this is the rubric for our chats. This is the rubric for our reflections. Don't even try to read this, it'll hurt your eyes. But you'll notice, right, again, the criteria, that it's complete and posts and so on and so forth. So again, no big mystery about why you got what you got. In terms of reading my responses here, you'll notice this is a filled out rubric, right? I clicked it and, like, great, yay, you got full points, or maybe not. And so definitely check out those graded rubrics to get a sense of what's going on. And then also, I always write feedback. And this, I know a lot of folks don't read it, but this is what takes me a lot of time, and this is where you're going to learn, right? The idea is to really, again, get stronger as we go throughout the course. So make sure you read those comments. I've included a link in our assignments too for how to access those comments in Canvas. And then finally, I just want to really emphasize you're not alone. I know it feels like you're alone in an online class, but those weekly online chats, those are spaces to ask questions, to run things by your fellow classmates. Am I on the right track? You're not graded for those. That's just an informal space to get support. Those nifty notes in our Canvas course that we're going to talk about on week 2, right? Those are some outlines to help you think about what to focus on in all this material. Of course, I'm here to support you. I have our online drop-in hours. If those times and days don't work for you, of course, set up another time. And then, as I mentioned, there's lots of free resources on campus that I'll include links to as well. So make sure that you're utilizing your resources. All right, thanks. Of course, let me know if you have questions. Bye.